what do you think is preventing you guys from finding that gear that you found in the fourth quarter more consistently?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it took us to get down the way we were to kind of get that out of us tonight. It's just got to be a mindset. It's got to be a mindset. It's mental. I thought we started the game and approached the game the right way. We were picking up. We were being aggressive physically, but you got to have a balance. We have to be smart. We have to be connected and on a string, and we've got to play with that kind of relentless nature defensively, and it helps our offense, frankly. And we're playing that kind of basketball, and the ball moves. Guys get more in rhythm and comfortable. So we just got to start games better.
Even when the ball pressure was like it was early in the game, it was weak side, one man, guys just seemed out of position. A lot of backside stuff wide open. Is that miscommunication? Is that mental mistakes? What is that a product of?
Sometimes it's miscommunication, but other times, it's just on the individual guy. Like we have our standard, we have our defense. We know where we're supposed to be. It's not supposed to be rocket science in any way. We just have to be more aware. We have to have our heads on a swivel. We have to be ready and willing to do the multiple actions and multiple efforts. And I think we'll make one or two efforts, and then the third one we'll just kind of relax. And on that one is when somebody cuts or somebody goes for offensive rebound, and as a whole we can't allow that to happen.
You had a team 2 seasons ago that almost never did that, never had those issues. Why do you think that was?
It's tough. 2 years ago it was a different team, different personnel. Obviously you're gonna miss different guys' skill sets when you don't have them, but we have the guys here that can do the same things those guys are doing, and a lot of them are just younger. We're trying to get guys adjusted to that and just to the speed of how we play, and they'll get there. But as a whole, the other guys that have been here this entire time, there's no excuse for us not to be playing at that level. So you point the finger at anybody, it's got to be the group that's been here and knows what we're doing and knows how we're supposed to play.
So, Mike, you see it as more than just the young guys learning on the job, that this goes deeper than that, I guess.
Yeah, it's not just the young. No, I would never point at them at all. They're learning. They're supposed to learn from us, and so me being one of the leaders, I take the blame for that. I know, Jaden, Rudy, and everybody who prides themselves, on defensive end. We all have to be better. We have to show them the way. We have to show them how we're supposed to be physical, how we're supposed to approach these games, and we can't wait till the last 6 minutes to find that. But that's the way we have to play, and that's the way we want our young guys to play.
Did you kind of take it upon yourself to ignite things a little bit defensively there in the court?
Yeah, I got frustrated just with the way the games plural have been going, and just started trying to be a pest, get my hand on loose balls, be physical, all the things I know I can do to help the team, and try to put myself on the ball a little bit more whenever I can get an opportunity. And guys, you start to see more and more guys just start to fall in line, and we started to play a different brand of basketball. So like I said, that's why I point at me a lot. If I can be more assertive on that end, maybe I can spark something for our guys.
And Jaden right now, and they were supposed to be primary point of attack guys for you. I know that's not an excuse, but how disorienting has it been to maybe guys like you? Now you're on the ball a little bit more, or Rob, or Bones, or whatever. Missing those two, what does that impact defense?
Yeah, those two you can't replace what they do and what they bring. I think Ant's defense, when he's on the ball, is elite, one of the best in the league. And you talk about Jalen, he comes in every game and affects the game in a positive way. And those things you can't teach. They're things that they just bring, naturally. And when guys have to step into new roles and more minutes or more opportunity, it adds another thing to their plate. That's why it's harder for young people to try to. You're worried about scoring. You're worried about playing defense now. You're worried about all these different things that maybe you didn't have to worry about 2 weeks ago or a week ago. So we just got to take it upon ourselves to do it by committee, watch film, be prepared, be disciplined, and until those guys get back, we got to figure it out.
How much is spread pick and roll part of the answer for creating offense in Ant's absence?
For us, yeah, it's a big part of what we're trying to do. I think especially with Rudy out there, it's he creates gravity when he rolls, and we can get our guys downhill, creating 2-on-1s on the weak side and more drive and kick scenarios. You can try to we call it the blender, but try to get them closing out, and you're able to drive by and make another play. Those are situations we're looking for, probably more so than we had earlier in the year when Ant and everybody was healthy. So we're just going to continue to try to do it. It's been good when we do it right and we move the ball and we put energy into it, but we just have to get used to it.
Like Coach said before, like you guys have been in previous seasons, you've always been good at forcing that first miss. What did you see early on in just your ability to end possessions early in the game versus what you found later in the game that you were able to kind of get those possessions ended more swiftly?
Yeah, it's those multiple efforts that I was talking about. Early in the game, I think that we play good defense and we do a great closeout and contest, and we're like, oh yeah, I did my job, but it's the job's not finished until we get that ball going the other way, and we've got to put our both hands on the ball. I think a lot of times we're smacking it with one hand to somebody else, or trying to think you're doing the right thing, but you're smacking it to the other team and they're going in for a layup or extra opportunity. So got to be stronger and just go up with two hands and finish these possessions.
You found that groove though later on in the game.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of when you feel like it counts and like this is winning time. I think you start to see everybody. That people are hitting people a little bit earlier in box outs. You're jumping above the rim with two hands to grab the rebound and not with your hands down. Like we're all just in a whole nother state, and that just can't be our way of life around here. We have to be able to do that from the jump.
We're seeing a lot of teams in the league right now, this first week or so, playing really hard, playing committed to what they're doing. You guys coming off 2 West Finals appearances in a row, did you feel maybe any complacency at all, or just a little bit of lack of commitment sometimes, or just trying to ramp up to that level?
No, I don't think there's complacency. I think that every year you want to get back to where you were, obviously, but every year is kind of like a new team. Even though you have the same core group of guys, 5-6 guys, you add a couple more in there, they're going to get more minutes. You're going to have to work your way back to that. You're not going to come in the year, Western Conference finalist. You're 0-0 to start, just like everybody else, and all the teams are good. Everybody's good right now. It doesn't matter who you play. They're going to give you their best shot. Everybody thinks they're going to, they have a chance to do something special at this time of the year. So this is why we have to just, stick together at this point of the year and figure out a way to just turn this thing around. By the time, we look up our record in January, February, would be where we want to be and playing our best ball in the second half.